The epilogue first season of Plunder revealed some crazy info. Spoiler, Osiris is back thanks to tea constructed by Mithrax using Nezarec's body parts. Today we are going to discuss how Nezarec is much more alive than you previously thought, and may be leading his second collapse thanks to Mithrax. Here's what we know about Nezarec. The being is listed in pre-Golden Age text, which still puzzles us, but has been a disciple of the Witness who led the first collapse on Earth according to Ido. Something happened during this encounter and his pyramid ship crash-landed on the moon. His body stored inside for years until the Elixni and Mithrax's mother found him a time later. Those Elixni took parts of Nezarec's body and used dark magic to assist in their everyday pirate lives. Mithrax later inherited one of these claws when he was old enough and plundered the system with its magics. After a time, the relics of Nezarec were scattered across space, until this season. Aramis and her crews, cracked out of her tomb by the Witness, attempt to collect them all before we do. Mithrax, knowing how terrible this would be because of this dark magic, had us collect them as well, which we did, and in the end, from these relics, this happened.
Mithrax could take time to study the secrets of the reliquaries. He said they were connected by threads he alone could perceive, and that they whispered to him. He performed a conversion. He claimed from them a mass of primal darkness. He distilled it, transformed its terrifying energy into a more agreeable state.
So the relics were condensed into a liquid that Osiris ingested, and this brought him back to life. There's some crazy things to think about here. First, Osiris is back, but he has memories of Savathun and an ancient power found on Neptune. Mithrax also mentions threads, like those of the Weave and Strand. I have another video up if it's not already about Strand, but the big warning sign to me here is Nezarec. In that scene, it is said that the disciple whispered to Mithrax, telling him how to achieve this concoction. So essentially, Nezarec taught him how to save Osiris and possibly himself. This isn't completely new. Nezarec has tried to speak to others before. Some of those first Elixni that traveled in with Mithrax and his mother, and later Mithrax was capable of using this dark magic and clearly knows more than he tells us.
Guardian, there are details I have kept from you. From everyone. I must ask for the gift of your patience. I will find an answer. I will.
In the Nezarec's Whisper card, Eris feels the power of an ancient being, but when she speaks, no one is there. A chamber. It is cavernous. It is dark. Strange bisected statues of stratified minerals line the cathedral-like walls and culminate at the far end before a yawning opening that empties into perpetual nothingness. On the floor, a length of unidentifiable metal caked in centuries of dust catches her eye. A glaive. Eris lifts it into her hand. Striations of red illuminate on its surface and throb like a heartbeat. The glaive's power feels faint, distant, and yet an ember of something terrible still burns within. "Where are you?" Eris whispers into the air. There is no reply. So what's the big idea? Well, Nezarec still seems very much alive. The delicate tomb lore tab spoke of one who knew, who understood. I am made finite, personal, bright and delicate to hide my true form, an intimacy. They think me contained, but I am instead diffused as vapor upon the wind. Once again, I am becoming. That line clearly had us theorize that Nezarec can continue living even though his body was battered to tons of tiny pieces by those Elixni. Also, he has many tombs, a delicate tomb, a fourth tomb of Nezarec found by the Drifter, and now he may live through Osiris. Osiris is back, but would Bungie pull this again? Would he still be corrupted after being cleansed and then in a coma for about a year? Will this darkness in Nezarec also exist and speak through Osiris? And could this be how the Traveler gets infected by darkness like the Vox prophecy told us?
The ship stealer revived. The Leviathan reborn. Your Traveler, infected by darkness.
Imagine this. The witness lets us obtain the relics of Nezarec. Nezarec speaks to Mithrax, saying, "Use them and make this tea." Osiris drinks this darkness and wakes up. He could tell us of a great power like Strand or the Weave, but maybe the Traveler also suffers from this decision to give him the tea, and Nezarec and the witness would win, infecting our Traveler. Remember back to Aramis's vision at the beginning of this season when she was cracked out of that crystal. The witness spoke to her, saying, "Gather those who would serve you, and know you serve us." A surge of images filled her mind, tendrils of inky vapor trailing through the stars, hidden vessels secreted amongst long-forgotten treasures, a whisper rising to a roar, the great machine beginning to awaken, and then from everywhere, shattering. So, in that vision, hidden vessels amongst long-forgotten treasures, maybe those are the relics. A whisper rising to a roar, Nezarec's whisper now beginning to wake up, turning into something new, and the great machine beginning to blank. Aramis awakens at this point, but something happens to the Traveler. To me, Nezarec seems too important to dispose of in this manner. We grinded up his body parts to make a tea because he told us to. Nezarec's curse that Ido mentioned has to come into play somewhere. Does Mithrax get cursed, or does Osiris again? Story-wise, it would seem to make more sense for Mithrax somehow sacrificing himself to save Osiris rather than Osiris struggling after we spent all this time trying to revive him. But if that was the case, I'm not sure how that would lead to the Traveler being infected. Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on Nezarec. After bringing this character back and that being the underlying and also focal point of various seasons, is this character just dead, or do they still exist through other means like Osiris just beginning their work to infect our Traveler? If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.